Good evening or afternoon, wherever you are. I really want to talk about something that's really important. This is in response to Sky's broadcast a while ago about ethnicity targets for employability, saying 5% are going to employ black people and Asian people. And I want to put a stand on this and give my own thought leadership and opinion and backed up support. Being a former professional teacher, ethnicity targets I don't think are welcome. Reading the comments, um, if you're trying to increase equality in your organisation and you're having to employ a council, okay, to kind of safeguard your equality practice, then something's definitely wrong, because you should be recruiting people based on their experience, their skills. When people come into my former classroom when I was a teacher, I didn't stop them at the door because of the colour of their skin. We never had an education, we've never have, I never will have, kind of in most institutions, targets for him, getting Asian people, black people. It's not nice being labelled in that way. I've been through racist abuse when I was a child. And I have been in the classroom. I'm a former professional teacher for 5 years. I taught business studies, and it was a joy and privilege to help all ages, all races, all religions. There's no discrimination in the classroom. The image you see behind me is a kind of typical setup you would get in either a mock interview situation where you've got an assessment centre or a training session. And the idea is that you welcome everybody in the room. And the idea is that it doesn't matter, what race or age. Discrimination is going on indirectly now because companies, sadly, like Sky and other companies, and I'm sorry, I know you follow me and my work, but putting out a video that might have got 500,000 views, and a lot of those comments were real when I investigated those. To say that you're going to recruit 5% or 20% more Asian people, and it's that on its own, it can be formed as discrimination from my perspective. And whilst you've employed some great entrepreneurs as a safeguarding council, my recommendation to human resource management is to get in deep into your company and getting to set up focus groups and speak to people that have started in the company and say, look, how did you feel when you came into the company? Did you feel included? And you should be doing it for all practices, not just in the diversity and inclusion area. This is really important because I'm seeing a lot of companies get this wrong, and putting out content that's just not really. It seems like you're putting a kind of brand on your, advertising that we're going to do this. It's like corporate social responsibility, saying we are green, and when you look under the bonnet, you're not green. This is really important because this can actually cause more damage than good to people like, including myself, who trying to champion equality, but also have feelings and been racist abuse. And when I was working in different companies in the education world, I was heavily well respected. I never received discrimination, and I had a professional duty to safeguard my students. If I can do it in a classroom, I don't understand why companies can't do it on scale when they've got 10,000, 20,000, 80,000 employees. You shouldn't have to create video content to say we are going to do this. You should have the right policy and practice in your human resource department to say, right, how do we recruit people? We recruit people based on good skills development, good attitude, and to see that companies are trying to play this catch up on diversity and inclusion, and other associated institutions that I've seen trying to roll out, training and development programs, is kind of saying to the market that we're not up to scratch. We're not doing what we should be doing. If you treat people with respect, regardless of the age, race, religion, gender, they will respect you. They will work hard. they will respect you. Give them autonomy, trust them, and change your recruitment and selection procedures. And I'm sure you will see an increase in performance in your organization. More importantly, developing a culture of learning is about acceptance, it's about equality, but you only get to that level if you truly speak to people and see how they feel, because we've all got, feelings. And sometimes I get kind of frustrated when I see big organizations, okay, trying to step up to diversity inclusion. Some of the practices that companies are doing are really good, but sometimes you can, and you have, sadly on this particular post caused a little bit of offence, or quite an offence to a lot of people. And a lot of people liked the video that I'm referring to. But it's not rocket science to do inclusion and diversity. I've done it in the classroom for many years, and we do it in education very well in the UK, as other nations do. There should be no reason why discrimination and diversity and inclusion should be such a massive shift. It shouldn't cost £10 million, £20 million to safeguard people's feelings and embed them in the workplace. Why do we have to spend millions of pounds to create equality? Yeah, it's a bit ludicrous, because it tells me and it tells the market that we're not being inclusive. We're doing things the wrong way. We're not having the right recruitment and selection. I really wanted to get this quick video out because I feel it's important. And some of you might disagree with me, but I've been there. I've been racist abused, and I've also been on the professional side of actually being inclusive to all my students in the classroom. The workplace, yes, bullying does go on, but in terms of diversity and inclusion, you just look at people equally and fairly, and if they perform well on the day of recruitment, you recruit them, you welcome them in, and it shouldn't be, although, gender equality is slightly different, because it's very, very important that we believe in all, and we don't just, not promote someone because of their sex or race, age, religion, or even their color of skin. So I hope this might resonate with companies. Improve your recruitment and selection procedures, change it, policy and practice. And it comes down to human resource management and business leaders to say, look, you don't have to spend £20 million, £10 million on diversity and inclusion. You should be having a good culture anyway in the first place. You should be based on skill, experience. Okay. I can't see things changing at the moment, but I'm hoping that more thought leaders like myself and, or other thought leaders will put out videos like this and just say, look, it's not rocket science. We should be having equality in the workplace. Discrimination like this in a form of indirect advertising, as it is, it's causing offence to people. When I can read the comments, I can see that on this platform. So please, when you are putting out video content, and this video is designed to help people. I stand for equality, and everyone who follows me, all my fans, as it were, should know that I'm with you, I'm for you, I'm with the people, and I'll always stand by people that feel they've been discriminated, and so forth. And I've been in those shoes. I've been racially abused, and it ain't nice. I'm not saying it happens in companies. It might, and it has done, evidently, but we need to be very sensitive and careful around the way that we actually put out our vision, our procedure to the world, because the bigger the company, the wrong videos we put out will cause offence to people, and it has done in this case that I've read today on the platform. Sadly, even though the video is old, okay, reading the comments and looking at other content on LinkedIn, where diversity inclusion is a heavy topic. It has been through the pandemic and in previous years. Some companies are getting it really right. It comes down to recruitment and selection, HRM, practice, and just treating people with respect. Doesn't matter, where they come from and, what color of skin they are. If they've got a degree, if they fit the bill, if they've performed well on the assessment, bring them in, okay? And on progression as well, they should be treated equally, and you shouldn't promote just because somebody's that color or that. And it might, there's no such worse. Well, there is a no worse a feeling than an employee going home feeling like they've been discriminated because of the color of their skin. There is no, put yourself in those shoes. And that's why we have to be very sensitive around our policy and practice and just speak to employees. The training room we've got set up behind me is real in its context. And if we set up systems like that where everyone gets to speak around the table, either in a training session or recruitment assessment day, that's the right process that needs to go out and needs to happen. So please try and embed those principles and practice as best as you can. This is my, kind of expert thought leadership around diversity and inclusion that should happen from a former teacher's perspective, and also for somebody that has experienced severe racist abuse when there was a child. So I hope this helps companies, and I hope that this might resonate with people that, if you are experiencing any form of discrimination, you feel even the slightest, please talk to somebody, because it is detrimental for your mental health if you just let it ride in your head. Talk to a family friend, or more importantly, if you can't speak to your line manager, speak to human resource management. That's what there should be to do. Okay. I know HRM are really playing catch up at the moment with the hybrid model, but we need to treat people with respect, and we need to welcome in our businesses, regardless of what faith, age, religion. Age, you have to be a certain age to be employed, but it shouldn't be in a form of, right, that person's only 18, they've got no experience, that person's 30, we'll recruit them, we'll knock out the other person, they're no good. It shouldn't be that way. You should have a fairer, equal, better policy of recruiting and selecting employees coming into your businesses. And some of you are getting it right. And, there's some people some working cultures are really, really doing well. But there you go. That's my little video for tonight. I've spoken a bit too long, but sometimes when it's passionate to my heart, especially equality, I will stand up for people, and I will voice my professional opinion in a professional manner. Hopefully this video's come across in a professional sense. So thank you so much for watching. Just think, if you're somebody that's working in a company and you are feeling discriminated, please do talk to somebody, support each other, love one another. Okay, that's what real humanity is. We should have family cultures in companies. It doesn't always happen. It's hard to get in a large company organization when you've got 10,000, 500,000 employees, 1 million employees. It is difficult, but support. We should treat each other with respect and welcome ideas on the table, as we've seen from the image in the back of me. Okay, thank you so much for watching. Good night and God bless.